Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Coming off an oak, actually not really a good weekend. Saturday's college picks did well, and then I crushed NBA on Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, not really too great, but it's a new week. Let's get started.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First game up, Cleveland on the road in Washington. This is a 7 p.m. tip. Totals at 222.5. Line Washington +3, and it looks like the public's heavy on Cleveland, but look at that sharp money come in on the Wizards late. Drop that line from 3 down to 2.5. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Washington minus 3.31. So we're looking at a 6-point lead on the Wizards. The Wizards have blown back-to-back 20-point leads. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the NBA. Not just on back-to-back games, on back-to-back nights. I bet Washington in both of them, and I watched both games. And I swear in the second one against Brooklyn, when they got the lead down to like 8, I knew it was happening. I was like, I lost this one. It's happening again. Obviously, blowing back-to-back 20-point leads is definitely going to leave a sour taste in our mouth when it comes to the Wizards. But can we put that to the side and take a look at how this team has performed over the last 3 weeks as a whole? Because the answer is pretty well. Their offense is 4th in the NBA in efficiency. The question is, can the Wizards offense continue to perform at that high level even without Kyle Kuzma on the floor? Because Kuzma's out tonight. Remember, a couple weeks back, the Wizards were on a hot streak and Kyle Kuzma was leading the way. He was the leading scorer. He was dominating. But here's the thing, that Kuzma hot streak, it ended. It ended about a week and a half ago. In the last 4 games, Kuzma's numbers are terrible. Hold on, I have them right here. So Kuzma in the last 4 games, just 10 points a game, 31.7% field goals, 16.7% from 3. So in my opinion, the Wizards offense has already shown us in the last 4 games that they can produce without Kuzma. Keep in mind, in the last 4 games, they may be 2-2, but their 2 losses, they had 20-point leads in. Now, I know historically Donovan Mitchell has destroyed the Wizards. He has really nice looking numbers against Washington over the course of his career. But speaking of cold shooters, we're talking about Kuzma. Let's look at Donovan Mitchell. In his last 5 games, Donovan Mitchell's averaging just 15.2 points a game. I think that's 3rd or 4th best on the Cavs. He's shooting just 35% from the floor. Look, I know the back-to-back blown leads have you all hesitant, but I am not deboarding. I am remaining aboard the Wizards wagon. Let's go, Wizards. I'm doing it. Give me Washington +2.5. Let's go. Next game. Boston on the road in Detroit here. This totals at 229. This line was at Detroit +11.5. Public's on Boston, but look how hard the Sharps hammered Detroit early. 99% of the money on the Pistons. Line drops down to 11. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Detroit +7.8. So we're looking at a nice little 3-point lead on the Pistons. Update, as I'm recording this, Prop Beaver just yelled from the other room. Jaylen Brown is now questionable. He wasn't even on the injury report an hour ago. Welcome to the NBA. So Jaylen Brown may not play for the Celtics. So let's give the Pistons props. They're 2-3 in their last 5. Now, I know 2-3 isn't something to celebrate it, but if you're the Pistons, winning 2 out of 5 is not bad. Definitely not a good team. But the most important takeaway from that 5-game span, they haven't been blown out. I mean, their largest loss in that 2-3 5-game span is 6 points. In fact, you got to go back 2 full weeks to the day to find the last time the Pistons were blown out. They got beat by 20 by the Bucks. Milwaukee's beating the shit out of everyone right now. So you look at that Pistons team, they played 5 tough games in a row. They're hanging in games. And then you look over the Celtics. Boston's struggling right now. Celtics are just 2-4 in their last 6. In fact, they're just 0-3 against the spread in their last 3 road games. And it's certainly not the Celtics defense that's given them problems. In the last 3 weeks, Boston's 2nd in the NBA in defensive efficiency. In fact, Celtics are starting to look like the defense that they went on the championship run last year. The offense, however, is all the way back at 23rd. And when you have a roster like Boston does, it's a loaded roster. That's just unacceptable. It gets even more interesting. Do you want to know what the 2 biggest weaknesses have been recently for the Celtics offense? Offensive rebounding and turnovers. And interestingly enough, if you look at the Pistons in the last 3 weeks, they're 12th in the NBA in offensive rebounding rate and 10th in the NBA in forced turnover rate. So the 2 areas where Boston is struggling, Detroit's actually all right in. And then check this out. Over the last 3 weeks, Detroit's 11th in the NBA in defending the 3-ball. A huge part of what the Boston Celtics like to do offensively. Look, I think there's enough evidence here to take the points and back the Pistons, so I'm doing it. Taking Detroit. Also, prop for this game. I like Derek White over 17.5 points and assists. Since Marcus Smart got hurt, Derek White's averaging 32 minutes a game. He's also gone over this mark in 4 of his last 5. So give me Derek White over 17.5 assists and points combined. Also, give me Detroit plus 11 next game. Clippers on the road in Brooklyn here. This is a 7:30 p.m. tip time. Total set at 221, and the line was Brooklyn plus 6.5. Public's on the Clips, but the money's actually kind of even, so there are a few sharps out there that like Brooklyn, but the line continues to move towards the Clips. Actually, as I'm recording this, it's all the way up to 8. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Brooklyn plus 2.72. So that's a solid lean on the Nets, but keep in mind, my model does not take into consideration injuries or trades. So this model's got Kyrie stats in it, Durant stats in it. Obviously, neither of those players are playing for Brooklyn tonight. I'm definitely on the Clippers here. Nothing else to say. The Clippers have covered 7 in a row when both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard play. Both appear to be playing tonight, so I'll be laying the points regardless of the number. Give me Clippers minus 8 next game. Sacramento on the road in Houston here. This is an 8 p.m. tip. Totals at 233.5. The line was Houston plus 6. Public seems to be on the Kings here with sharp money leaning towards Houston. Line drops. We're down to 5.5 now. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Houston minus 3.8. If you subscribe to this channel, you already know my model loves the Rockets because they're the best offensive rebounding team in the league and have been for like a full month now. And I weight rebounding in my model pretty hard. So it's saying about the Rockets, but keep in mind, my model weights rebounds a little heavier than most. So it looks like De'Aaron Fox returns to the lineup for the Kings. Obviously, that was needed. The Kings lost both games since he was out. So having him back, huge difference. This is the first leg of a doubleheader, actually. These two teams play in Houston tonight, and then on Wednesday, they play in Houston again. So back-to-back games, same venue, same two teams. Look, to put it into simplest terms, you got the Kings, a solid team, a playoff team in the Western Conference, coming off back-to-back losses. They need this game, playing against the worst team in the NBA. I couldn't break it down to any simpler than that. I'm laying the points with the Kings. Spoiler alert, I'm probably going to lay the points with the Kings on Wednesday as well. Give me Sacramento minus 5.5 next game. Spurs on the road in Chicago. This is another 8 p.m. start. Total's up at 239. High total on this one. Line was Chicago minus 9.5, but everyone's on the Bulls. 69% of the money, of the tickets, 87% of the money or something like that. All in Chicago. The line jumps from 9.5 up to 10.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Chicago minus 10.3. So no lean at all. It's basically exactly where the books have it. So let's play a game. Let's play, when's the last time the Spurs came within single digits of a team? Because you got to go back 6 whole games to the Lakers loss. They lost the Lakers by 9. That was 6 games ago. That was the last time they came within single digits of a team. In the last 7 games, the Spurs are 0-7 with an average margin of loss of 17.1 points. Teams are literally taking turns slapping the shit out of San Antonio. Now, to be fair, the Spurs are very injured. Trey Jones, Romeo Langford, Devin Vassell, and Jeremy Sohan all have been hurt for San Antonio, but they're all still out tonight as well, so that hasn't changed. 10.5 is a lot of points, but Chicago has looked good in both of their last 2 games. Also, I'm going to continue to fade this Spurs team missing those 4 pieces, without a doubt. So I'm on the Bulls. Give me Chicago minus 10.5 next game. Dallas on the road in Utah. This is a 9 p.m. tip. Totals at 221. This line was at Utah minus 5, but then it jumped up to 9. I'm guessing when they announced Luka Doncic was out. It's actually up to 9.5. Both public and money definitely slightly leaning Utah. Look, I'm skipping this game. There's no Luka, no Kyrie Irving yet. Line's 9.5. So even if I wanted to fade Dallas, I don't really want to lay 9.5 with Utah either. If I had to lean, I would lean Utah, but I'm just going to skip this game. Next up, Bucks at Blazers. This should be a good one. If you're going to watch one game tonight, I recommend watching this one. 10 p.m. start, totals at 239. Now, this line was Portland plus 5, but it continues to drop, most likely as a result of all that sharp money. If you take a look, the public is on Milwaukee, like 63% of the tickets on the Bucks, but look at all those sharps on Portland. We're now looking at Portland plus 4. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Portland plus 9.55. So we got a 5.5 point lean on Milwaukee here. So the Blazers offense has been absolutely next level explosive. No one's going to argue that. Over the past 4 weeks, Portland's #1 in offensive efficiency in the NBA by a pretty decent margin. I mean, look at the 4 major stat categories for the Portland offense here. First in efficient field goal percentage, 3rd in turnover rate, now 26th in offensive rebounding, which is actually interesting. second in free throw rate. So even though this team pretty much does nothing on the offensive glass, they still have the highest rated offense in the NBA, which says a lot. So how could I possibly fade an offense like that? Well, simple. For starters, their defense is almost as bad as their offense is good. Blazers defense just 29th in the last 4 weeks in efficiency. Only the Spurs have a worse rated defense than Portland. Also, it looks like the Bucks have just really found their groove. If you rewind back, I think it was last Tuesday's YouTube video, I said I had a feeling the Bucks were about to go on a run. They've won 7 straight games now, and who wants to step in front of that train? Yes, it's true that 5 of the Bucks' 7 wins on this winning streak have come at home in Milwaukee, where they are much better. But still, I'm just not comfortable fading the Bucks right now. I know this is super square. I'm siding with the public. Give me Milwaukee -4. This one's definitely going on the final ticket next game. OKC on the road in Golden State. This is a 10 p.m. start. Totals at 238. Line was Golden State -5, and I say was because everyone's betting OKC here. Tickets on OKC, money's on the Thunder as well. Line drops. We're now looking at Golden State minus an even 4. If we take a look at the spreadsheet, we'll see that the model's telling us the line for this game should be Golden State -4.3. So really no lean at all there. Obviously, we know that Golden State's lineup is still nice without Steph Curry. Steph Curry's going to miss 4 weeks, at least 4 weeks, I think they said. But I mean, Poole, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. I mean, all 5 of those pieces have experience starting in the Warriors lineup. All 5 of those pieces have a lot of experience playing together. So I don't think it's much of an adjustment. I do worry about the Warriors bench a little bit. DiVincenzo is probably going to have to log serious minutes. We'll probably see DiVincenzo play like 30 minutes, which is definitely not what he's used to. I'm going to fade Golden State here, but it's not because I don't trust the Warriors without Steph. In fact, I think the Warriors without Steph can still cash bets at home. It's because this Oklahoma City team just keeps paying out. In the past 3 weeks, Oklahoma City is 8th in offensive efficiency and 7th in defensive efficiency. They're not just covering numbers anymore. They're beating good teams. They're an NBA best 32-19 against the spread. They're 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. I'm taking the red-hot Oklahoma City Thunder team. I like this team a lot. Give me OKC +4. This one's also definitely going on the ticket. If anything changes with any of these bets because of injuries or last-minute updates, you know how the NBA is, I will let you know on Twitter, so give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the top bets and the parlay of the day, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. NBA Monday, 8 games tonight. Let's get this week started off right. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you on Twitter.